Hey guys, I'll respond to Jacob and his opinion about elbow dip. First of all, disclaimer, this is general advice only. Please contact certified and accredited disc golf coach to see what's right for you. This is my personal experience. I have been elbow dipping my entire disc golf career, and while I was driving to the course this morning to record this, Alex actually probably explained why I was elbow dipping. And yes, I think it's because I didn't know what a hip hinge is. We're having a separate conversation with Owen about it because it's mind-blowing to me, but apparently business as usual to a lot of people out there. So if you are automatically tucking your tailbone out when you're doing stuff, fantastic. I had no idea that this was the thing, so I wasn't doing it consciously. I was just, okay, I'm ready to throw, and I was just spinning on the thing, the front hip, front leg, etc. But I still wanted to try make my argument as I had it in my head when I was watching Jacob's video. Jacob's point, to the best of my understanding, is to help with elbow dip, not dropping towards your torso. You have to raise your arm and elbow and hand-ish to the plane, create some tension in the lats, and essentially keep it there. My knowledge is fresh. I have greatly progressed by having dedicated time over the last 5-6 days, and partially the part of it was solving elbow dip for me. So I'll just present it the way I originally solved it, while having the rest of my form being still to a certain degree dysfunctional. And then I'll explain how solving it one way helped solve it the organic way, if I can put it this way. So Lee Wentz's cue was very helpful to at least get a feeling of what it feels like to not have the elbow dip. And I think the most important thing here is not to try to throw the disc just yet, like you do, Kenneth, because as soon as you get into this position, your brain switches on the old motor pattern, which we want to avoid. So convince the brain that at all time it's just, a fun exercise. So what I propose you do is grab the disc just with a thumb on top, 4 fingers at the bottom, and keep it nice and loose. So not too much loose, so it doesn't fall out of your hand or fly out of your hand, but just nice and loose. So Lee Wentz's cue was very simple. You need to get your hand to 10:30, so 9, 12 o'clock, 10:30, 45-degree angle, and rotate the shoulder inwards, and then rotate the hand back. So natural position where your elbow looks down, you rotate the shoulder inwards, and then rotate the hand back 45 degrees. And then he said all you need to do is rotate hips 45 to 45. 45 to 45. Importantly, it's just hips, because if you start rotating the shoulders with the hips, it's going to break things. So because I was always trying to, it's already a habit to rotate the shoulder inwards. Maybe I was also, when I was trying that with hips and shoulders, kind of was getting in outside of my hinge. But the simplest way, again, 45 degrees, elbow, shoulder inwards, and hips 45 to 45. Right? Again, 45 to 45. Important to see what's happening here, because it's a kind of like an early hint of what you will want to feel on the throw. When you rotate truly just the hips, 45, you can see that my arm has some sort of a lag. So it doesn't rotate with the hips, it has a lag. And then if you snap it, it has a lag back. Like hey Alex, that's a park job.
Wow, from an OB shot.
I'm recording a video for my friend. So, and I think this lag is key because it shows that during the actual throw, it's your hips drive it in a very specific way, and the arm just does the thing and kind of follows the hips, right? And what we see in pretty much all the beginner form checks, myself not being an exclusion here, is that we try to elbow someone in the face, right? To like overthrow says, for example, like lead with the elbow. Lead with the elbow, I think, is a very, very poor cue because it gives people the idea that they have to punch someone, oh sorry, what is the word? Punch? Hit someone with the elbow, which makes this movement activating some, well, using some muscles that you activate consciously. Whereas I found that if you don't do that, don't do anything with your arm, which I'm gonna try to demonstrate shortly, the arm, just because the hips are doing the right thing, the arm just follows and automatically to the benefit, to just creating an extra benefit, falls into the correct slot no matter where you start. So in the actual throw, and again I'm going to be doing it with a shadow swing because my body is still not used to this new motor pattern. In the actual throw, what we want to try to do, hopefully I'm not going to go out of frame, is set up two things. I set them up for me because they're not automatic for me. So number one, hip hinge. Number two, internal rotation of the elbow. What I used to start with, I did what Jacob suggested, and I raised my elbow to my shoulder plane. The problem with that turned out to be, as you all saw in my earlier videos, that when I get to throw, I shrug because I have a lot of tension here, and I short arm the throw to here, or let me try. To like, maybe I should do an actual throw to show. That will show. Like my arm, because I'm so manual about it, it goes, it tenses up, I shrug, and I end up like, right? So it was a tense version of what doesn't need to happen. Whereas I found that when I truly relax and do things right by doing my X step right and positioning myself to be able to land on my toe and then heel and then brace, what happens in the upper body is actually magical, because what we can afford to do in this case is when we are on step 3 and stepping out, what we're not doing, and I thought we should do pretty much the majority of my disc golf career, is that we reach out or, I don't know, do something active, right? But as Owen once said, or not once, the counter motion of this a relaxed counter motion natural is just to, I'm just punching my hip towards the camera. So right, you see it's not that exaggerated in the throw, but the elbow just opens out, right? So all we need to do in the throw to solve the elbow dip is not get into the way. Set up, and I'll set up intentionally just elbow rotated, hip hinge, set up to my pocket, and let me try not to walk uphill. Hip hinge, elbow in the pocket. 1, 2, 3. Set up. Internal rotate shoulder. Look at the line. 1, 2, 3. So all I'm doing is, as I'm stepping into step 4, I am coiling my shoulders only while keeping my shoulder internal rotated, and I leave everything else pretty much kind of loose. Set up, hip hinge, shoulder internal rotated. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my point. I think just internally rotating the shoulder, placing the elbow anywhere, your hand and elbow anywhere, just maintaining that sensation, and then making sure you do everything else right, will automatically solve this problem. Thank you.